Safety Committee meeting. Please take the roll.
Baylor,
Here.
Oldman,
Here,
Tarks.
Here.
are there any persons desiring to be heard? That will be none. So we'll consider the minutes from April 15th.
I make a motion to accept the minutes of April 15th.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, we'll begin with Chief. Yep.
All right, good evening, everyone. I'll start out and just kind of go through the handout that I provided you with, the report for this quarter, for the last 3 months. So we had one of our officers, Officer Longross, was on a military activation for a month, a little over a month. On May 12th, he returned from that active duty assignment and has been with us since. So that alleviated some staffing issues that we had for a short time during the end of April, beginning of May. May 23rd, Officer Bartosik successfully completed his probationary period with our department. And tonight at the village board meeting, we'll formally acknowledge that accomplishment, welcome him to his permanent status. I think his family's going to be here, and hopefully some of our staff for that as well. So that's exciting. That leaves one officer that I believe at the end of August will successfully complete his probationary period, and then everybody will be in a permanent status. So we do remain at full staffing. And that last hire was Officer Heaney back in February of 24. So staying good with the staffing, and the people that are here are doing a good job. Just a couple of anniversaries. June 7th, Officer Longross completed his 2 years of service with the village, the police department. And June 13th, Captain Benson completed 3 years of service with the village, with the police department. Then there are no recent or ongoing or any disciplinary issues to report during this quarter. Training updates. So PD, we attended a total of 192 hours of training this quarter, less than previous quarter and probably less than probably the last quarter. That's pretty typical in the summer. I just want to point it out because in the summer months with vacation scheduling, actually classes or courses or trainings that are offered, they're lesser because they're not well attended. So typically in the summer months, we see a dip in training, at least outside specialized type of training. So that's pretty normal. In April, we did have our 4 hours of defensive tactics training with our Lakes area training group that we train with. You can see some of the topics that were included there. And then that was also 4 hours of firearms training. That training was conducted indoors. So we really worked on our pistol mounted optics, which again are still fairly new to us. And whenever we shoot inside, we work a lot on like low light conditions. You know, this time of year, not as much, but the majority of the time the officers are working in conditions that are dark or low light. So we certainly stress that in our training. And it's something to point out because then you'll see the next thing in June, we had 8 hours of firearms training, all conducted outside at an outdoor range. So we don't have that ability to utilize our low light type conditions, shooting with our flashlights, searching, things like that. So those 8 hours were good. We trained on at the Oconomowoc Lake outdoor range. We worked handgun, rifles. We shot our new rifles, and they are very well received, let's say, compared to the equipment that we had. They operate very smoothly, very effectively, and the officers are very pleased with the purchase that was made. So happy to report back on that. We also did some live scenario-based training. So we take instructors that have gone through training, and we conduct scenarios where we would have actual live role players. We get geared up with certain equipment. We use airsoft equipment to run officers through real life scenarios with different outcomes. And so that's important to not just, like firearms training is just shooting at paper targets, for example. These are real world decision making. Outcomes are different. Officers have to justify why they did what they did, why they didn't do something. So that's real good training. And in September, we're with our training group looking to get a building or a location that we can do a lot more of some of that type of training moving forward in this year yet. So, and then just a couple of specialized trainings we had. Again, not too many, but we had an investigator in service that officers attended. And then FBI National Academy Associates Annual Training Conference was back at the end of May. Any questions regarding training?
Nope.
So some other miscellaneous items. May 30th, Captain Benson, Officer Foose, and Officer Knapp conducted a good old-fashioned bike rodeo out at St. Agnes, partnership with the school. So they focused on bike safety skills, teaching the third grade kids about bike safety, how to stop at a crosswalk, how to stop at a stop sign, how to safely cross the street, signals to use on their bicycles, etc. So that was a great success, and we're already planning for another event, either to involve more of the community and or a bigger event next year at the school. So, and as a side note, I probably put it somewhere, but all the kids that participated, they took the time to write these nice little notes and letters to us that how much they had fun and appreciated using the bicycles, and they really put a lot of effort
Wow.
into it. So it's good for us to see that, but obviously we know it's having an impact on them.
Yep.
It makes it all worthwhile, and proud to be involved in the community in that way. So those guys did a great job putting that together. 4th of July, obviously the parade and fireworks were a success here. There's no incidents to report. I did just added a couple things to that though. Captain Benson, Officer Knapp, they coordinated the inaugural, and I put the name in here because I like what they came up with, but Operation Glow Stick for the kids out at the park. So the goal was, again, a community engagement initiative to be out, talking with people in the community, interacting with kids on a positive level. They handed out glow sticks, some other police items, and got a lot of really good positive feedback. So kudos to Officer Knapp for his idea.
It was
Come up
great.
with
I
that
had the
stuff.
pleasure of spending a little bit of time up there with those guys while they were doing that. And it was cool to see the residents and the kids, really grasping what they were trying to do and spend time talking with them. And the glow sticks, I thought was just an excellent idea.
Yeah, good. Well, appreciate that feedback. And again, I certainly give those guys credit. It's something we talk about frequently about ways that we can engage with the community, maybe outside of just being on patrol. So it's something
100%.
we're really striving as a department to continue to do. So I appreciate the feedback. And again, it seemed to be a good success. I did put a note in there. There seemed to be an uptick in private residences, setting off large fireworks in the neighborhoods. I heard from several people about the issue. I think the last several years, we hadn't had as many issues. And for some reason, again, it kind of was an uptick this year. So moving forward and moving into next year, we'll address it more proactively, both putting information out ahead of time to the public, but then also with the stance that we're going to make sure that we have enough staffing working in the evening. So it's not just at the park, but we're able to handle those types of things and take a zero tolerance stance. We certainly don't want something to happen in the village, and the backyard anywhere in the village is not the place to be lighting off these large fireworks, as we all know. So just a point to note moving forward for next year. It's on our radar already. July 11th, Officer Ratzloff and Foose assisted with the funeral procession for fallen Milwaukee police officer Kendall Corder. City of Brookfield had requested assistance from us to assist with traffic direction, closing off Capitol Drive near the entrance to Wisconsin Memorial Park, where the procession went from Elmbrook Church to Wisconsin Memorial Park. So they assisted with that detail. Policies, there's just a couple list of ones that I've been working on or focusing on as far as our policies and procedures. It's part of again, I've discussed this, but a bigger overhaul that is taking me more time than I would like, but it certainly is progressing, a little bit at a time, and we'll continue to move forward with that. Also, Captain Benson and Officer Ratzloff have been conducting an audit of our property and evidence room. This is something that I wanted to take place to make sure that the things that we have, that we know that they're documented properly, and the things that are documented that we say we have, we do in fact have them, and they're accurate. Within the last 5 years, we switched over from a manual system of property entry, so physically writing down what the things were, where they're stored, to utilizing our CAD software, our dispatch, our report writing software to track that. And so I wanted to make sure that was being accurate, and it's accurately reflected. And again, just to ensure the integrity of our evidence in our property room. And happy to report, I didn't expect it, but there's no issues that have been discovered or come up. So that'll probably become an annual thing once it's in line moving forward. So We're also ramping up for National Night Out. It's August 5th. We expect to have another successful and fun community event. New this year, we partnered with the House of Headlocks, which is a local business here in Butler. And they're going to conduct a full-scale wrestling ring with an exhibition wrestling match or matches that we'll do out in left field as part of National Night Out. So through some conversations that initially I had with Eddie Brown, who's the owner of that, and then Captain Benson has been working on it. We thought that was a really cool idea. He's willing to volunteer his people and his services for the event. So I think it's going to be cool. We're really excited about that. And then securing, volunteers and other people that obviously we can't do this event without. So appreciate everybody that's offered, that stepped up. There's still things that need to get done, but we're kind of in our final crunch for that. So we're looking forward to that. Any questions on those items? All right, so going through the incidents, nothing real significant that stands out as we go through these. A couple that I highlighted, I only did that because there was just somewhat of a change from the previous quarter. There's really no rhyme or reason necessarily, but we went from like 4 disorderly conduct incidents or calls to 14 in this quarter. Maybe that's to do with the weather. Maybe that's to do with the summer. People are outside. 5 vehicle pursuits, again, in 3 months. It's not over the top, but it's significant because those are always significant incidents. And then we have seen a little bit of an uptick in retail thefts, mostly from, I'll say overall, mostly from the gas stations in town. But that is also a reflection of the stores like doing their work and reporting these things. I think sometimes they happen and don't get reported. So our guys do a good job of following up on those. And in many of the cases after the fact, make arrests on those. So, and just for comparison, I didn't put on here, but a total of 1,537 calls in the quarter. Last quarter was like 1,600 and something. So pretty close. You can see the arrest data that we put in there related to arrests that we made and what the offenses were for. Again, nothing overly significant. One thing I did want to point out, and we're going to track this moving forward, but the short version of it is the district attorney's office and the court system, because of a jury instruction that is given to juries in possession of marijuana or THC cases. There's a different burden of proof that has to be proven, where basically the drugs have to not just be sent to the crime lab to be tested to ensure that they contain it, but they have to contain a certain level. It's 0.03% or above of THC for it to be illegal. So there's been a lot of discussions and some issues. We've actually had to take some drugs down to a lab at UW Parkside that's now able to test them. But on low-level possession of marijuana cases, there's probably going to be more of a push to issue municipal citations when there's not other crimes involved, when there's not extensive criminal history, those types of things, because of the expense that's going to be incurred on us to get those tests conducted, and then the uncertainty of kind of what that looks like moving forward. So just to put it on your radar, again, it's a much longer discussion, but that's a brief overview of it. Just moving on, again, you can see the evidence that was seized in the quarter as far as contraband. Our squad updates, so our squad 725R that's now out in service, it's fully operational. This was a replacement squad that replaced 724, which is the one that was totaled after it was brand new. That's now in service, and we do now have a delivery. We've taken delivery of our new squad 725, so our second 2025. That was delivered June 18th. The graphics are applied, and we're just waiting for scheduling with the vehicle installer to do the upfitting. We have all the equipment, we have the computer, all those things. It's just waiting for a scheduling piece at this point. That should take place within the next couple weeks. So, and then we're looking forward to that, and that'll be out on the road. Skateland summary. I'll just put what I have here, and then I would like to give Nick Lawfer from Skateland the opportunity. We talked, and he wanted to just come and just be present and see if there's any things that he needs to talk to you guys about. So I appreciate that from Nick, but we only had actually 5 calls for service during this quarter that we actually were sent to. One was an assist EMS call. There was 2 911 calls due to uncooperative patrons, and then there was 1 fight and a couple disorderly conducts. The only arrest that was related to anything related to Skateland was from a vehicle pursuit where an officer tried to stop somebody that was leaving unrelated, and they fled. They were later identified and arrested for fleeing, and they've since been charged with the DA's office. Our guys do a lot of extra patrols there while there are patrons there and workers, so we're visible out in the parking lot, walking through the building. But I don't have any significant issues that we've seen from Skateland, and I think that they've held up their end and are doing a good job with things. So
Awesome.
that concludes my report. If you have any questions for me, I'm happy to answer them. Otherwise, I would give Mr. Law for the opportunity to speak with you guys.
I have no questions.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it, Chief.
Well, you're just here to field questions.
Yeah, if you guys have anything.
Oh, okay.
I just wanted to make sure I was here.
Yep,
So that
nope.
If there's any concerns you had, I could.
We appreciate you coming for
Yeah.
sure.
No problem.
Glad to hear a good report. We appreciate what you guys are doing to make it work over there. So,
It's been pretty consistent with that.
That's what we're trying.
Yeah, we appreciate that. So I don't have any questions other than that.
Thank you.
No question.
okay, we're good. Thank you. That concludes the business, the police department report. Chief Zulik for the fire department. Grazie.
Thank you.
Thank you. There you go. Thanks.
All right, so our second quarter ended in May. We start in December. Our run totals pretty much normal. Ended up through the second quarter, 245 runs on there. As far as manpower goes at that time, I hadn't lost that many people yet. But in the last 2 months, I've lost 4 in each month. So right now I'm making do with basically 8 EMTs and roughly a dozen people total. That's where we're at right now.
So that's 20 total. And what's your,
20 total was in May.
oh, okay,
So it's down to 14 right now.
okay. And you're usually at 24?
It's right on the bottom there, 13 active firefighters, 10 active EMTs. I've had 2 called in up for military service that are gone for a year. I lost one guy who went out. He actually is a wildland firefighter out, so he's gone for till September. Just things like that.
Lots of reasons.
Another one's
Yeah.
getting hired, which I can't fault anybody for taking
Sure. Yeah.
taking a full-time job,
Yeah.
you know? So, the trucks are all in good shape. I have 3 more DOTs to finish up. Otherwise, I just ran the ambulance, the engine were through DOTs just in the last 2 weeks. I'll finish up the other 2. As far as drills went, EMS was OB, respiratory, and then cardiac in that order. And fire was ropes and knots. In March, we were inside, then hose deployment, and then drafting out a portable tank. As far as incidents, pretty much a normal quarter. The only one that was the cardiac arrest on Cameron.
Yes.
Just a quick question, Chief.
Yeah.
All these numbers are from December, January, and February. Or at least that's what they're labeled as.
Well, they both say 20-25 runs per quarter.
We got mixed up. I gave you the wrong ones.
Huh.
I scribbled on it.
I have the quarter 2.
You have quarter
I got quarter 2.
You have
Okay.
you have quarter 1.
Quarter 1.
I got quarter 2.
You have quarter?
Yeah.
I'll take that one.
No, I got quarter two.
I thought it was just me.
No, I'm looking, I'm like,
Okay.
he's doing numbers and I'm like,
Well, I didn't see that.
I'm like, this ain't making sense. I know I was out in the sun all day, but, okay. They pulled the wrong ones through the copying machine, or I pulled the wrong one through the copying machine on the second one. So quarter two incidents you got? Yes. No, I'm up to date. That's a cardiac.
Yeah. We're visiting Hampton Regency more too, aren't we?
What was that?
Hampton Regency, we're getting more calls again.
It's still coming in as it runs in streaks. I do have a problem with, I've talked to the manager about it because there's no on-site caretaker there. The apartment's empty. And what's happening is because when they did the remodel, the apartment smoke detectors are all local. So they'll go off and keep going off till somebody resets it. Well, it was set up to have on-site people do it. They call the management company and nobody comes. After about 2-3 hours of it going
call
off
you.
and that, then they'll call it in and it comes in to us as a 911 call.
Uh-huh.
Because unless the smoke hits the common areas or they pull the pull station, we don't get notified. But they did that when they did the remodel to avoid us having to run up there for every.
Mhm.
But I talked to the manager about it. She's not very cooperative. They have a new management company in there that just started this in the last month. They're trying to work the bugs out of it. But we've been up there more than we had been when somebody was actually living there. Other than that, everything has been pretty much a normal quarter.
I don't have anything.
I have no questions.
I don't either.
Obviously, we'll be talking about the fire department and the village board meeting, so more to come.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
All right, we'll need a motion for adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second that.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye at 5:22.